Good evening, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project and Magnetic Reversal News, bringing you a grand solar minimum update. Sunday, March 17th, around 9:30 p.m. Mountain Time 2024. The eruption in Iceland continues quite vigorously, lasting slightly longer than most of the eruptions that have happened this year. We're also closely waiting on a filament eruption and a CME that may make impact on Earth here on the 20th. Keep calm. It's boom time. And happy St. Patrick's Day. May your heart be light and happy, and may your smile be big and wide, and may your pockets always have a coin or two inside. Here is the snowfall analysis from the last 72 hours ending at 7 a.m. this morning, where you can see multiple rounds of snow over the last 3 days have brought amazing totals to the Four Corners region and the desert Southwest. Utah alone saw huge swaths of 3 feet or more up in the high elevations here in the South Central Mountains. Absolutely spectacular. The South San Juans picked up 3 feet or more on multiple peaks, and much needed moisture for an amazing rafting season developing as there is much more snow in the forecast. Winter weather across the Great Lakes and Southern Rockies, scattered showers and storms in the south. Moderate to heavy mountain snow continues to impact the Southern Rockies and Four Corners region today. Meanwhile, a strong system moving across southern Canada will trigger lake effect snow downwind of the Great Lakes through early next week. In the south, scattered showers and thunderstorms will linger across the western central Gulf Coast through this evening, and there are multiple states with frost and freeze warnings throughout the southwest. So heed those warnings and bring in your sensitive plants or cover them overnight. Let's take a quick look at the GFS models together, and we'll see the amount of snowfall that is coming this March. Here we are Monday morning through Tuesday. So the beginning of the week is going to kick off with some snow in Pennsylvania, western New York, as well as the rest of New England, specifically Vermont is going to be picking up the biggest totals here in the next 24 hours. This is lake effect snow. It's going to continue for days as there is some residual effects in the Four Corners region here. And here we see that first system moving across here Tuesday night, Wednesday morning, Thursday into Friday. Right there is going to bring a swath of moisture back into the northeast across the northern tier states. Let's move this through Friday into the beginning of the weekend. So we could be seeing some significant snows for the northern tier here before next weekend. Saturday, Sunday, another system moves down from the Pacific Northwest. Monday, Tuesday, take a look at these totals up in Michigan and Minnesota. Say it ain't soda. Now, these totals have shifted from central Iowa up to the north, so this model could still shift from now, but certainly a significant snow total happening somewhere in this region right around here in the next week. What a tweak, and that'll be next weekend. Take a look at some of the totals coming for the Northeast here as well. This could be some record snow for central New York, Vermont, and Maine. It's insane. And the snow continues for the West as we enter April. Huge snow totals showing up on the GFS for April. This could be a record river season for the West, as well as those snow basins. And almost all of the reservoirs west of the Rockies are now completely full. Well, and the alarmists are silent. Let's take a look at how cold it's going to be in the Northeast for the next few weeks. Here we are tomorrow. And take a look at these cold totals in the Northeast that are going to extend all the way to April. The people in the East that have been basking in the balmy weather are going to get a rude awakening because it is going to be very chilly until April. How you like them apples? Seismic update. We do have an interesting large quake, 4.7 in Iceland. We're going to get to that. That's at Bardabunga. Cross your fingers, because our prediction 3 years ago was if the Reykjanes Peninsula erupts, another large volcano on Iceland will erupt, and it appears as if Bardabunga is rising to the challenge. Iceland volcano spews its biggest eruption with little warning. Yeah, the seismic swarm that occurred before this quake was smaller than any of the others. Take a look at this right here. Just this 6 hours, a slight uptick, and then boom, the eruption. The eruption is ongoing, but the eruption has got smaller since it started yesterday. The fissure is now only erupting in 3 to 4 locations, albeit still quite vigorously. The lava field did reach the barriers that are protecting Grindavik town, and they held. Good news. This eruption is not slowing down as quickly as earlier eruptions. Bad news. Harmonic tremor is mostly consistent, but is lower than yesterday when the eruption started. The eruption fissure seems to be around 800 meters to 1 kilometer long at this point. There is an ongoing risk of new fissure eruptions in the region, and lava flow seems to have slowed down, but that might be because it might be collecting in large lava ponds that break, and then lava rushes forward at great speeds. There are no signs of this eruption ending on any of the webcams, and craters have started forming in the active parts of the fissure, similar to the first eruption last year when we had the huge caldera named Bob. Now, I looked at the full map of Iceland. I noticed the star here and the 4.7 on the map, and just happened hours ago here at Bardabunga, where a swarm is now forming on the Vatnajökull crater. Seismic swarm now occurring after that 4.7 on the Vatnajökull, specifically directly under Bardabunga. So we have a close eye on that, because if that blows, it's going to blow at VEI 3, 4, or 5. Nothing like this gentle fissure eruption that is now occurring in Iceland. And now we seem to have a little bit of visibility problems here, but as you can see from the glow from Hagafell, cam 8, and here we can see the full length of that 1 kilometer fissure. It's very active. And let's take a look at the worldwide volcano news update. Reykjanes volcano, 2 lava branches extend west and southeast. Western lava arm flows across the main road, and the Blue Lagoon has been evacuated. They expect this lava may reach the ocean. There it is coming across the road here in just a few hours. It's just a few hundred meters away from the beach. So that is an interesting development there. Popo today to 23,000, Fuego to 15, Dukono to 9,000 feet, Ebo to 14,000. And you can see one of the most recent updates here, Reykjanes volcano, the eruption waned considerably, but since that update, it is now considerably larger. So it has increased in size as night fell. We've also got Nevado de Ruiz, Reventador, Sabancaya coming up on the list. All normal activity worldwide. Marapi also today to 14,000. That's quite significant. Another increase in the eruption height. So let's peruse this Reykjanes live multi-stream here from all the angles. And it appears as if over 24 hours after the eruption inception, it is continuing with vigor. And the reason this might be is because the magma chamber has had an opportunity to fill not once, but twice. This is the first time that an initial fill failed to erupt. And so a secondary fill in that magma chamber resulted in this eruption. So this eruption potentially has as much as 2 times more magma than the previous 4 eruptions. So it should last for at least a few days and maybe longer. It's anyone's guess. We have very little predictive ability in these volcanoes. We can predict when they start if there is uplift and seismic activity, but we really can't predict the duration. Now, can we? The good news is that Grindavik town has not been harmed by any of this lava flow because of the human intervention and the berms that have been built. This is really groundbreaking territory because Iceland is one of the only first places ever to make these giant earthen dikes that redirect lava, and they've been quite successful for decades. Give him a thumbs up over here at Live from Iceland and subscribe to the channel and tell him Diamond sent you. I don't know if that matters. Space weather news update. Space weather for March 17th. Activity has been spiky since that new active region came around the eastern limb and has been slowly dropping off as the Earth-facing quiet takes hold. If we look at the latest HMI intensity, we can see that plage and that sunspot turning around the limb that is creating all this activity. It's quite a large region, but it is going silent. What's not going silent and never can is a coronal hole. Coronal hole 12 in the next 3 or 4 days will be Earth-facing, and we will be in a seismic alert window. So that is one of the main space weather features coming in just about 3 or 4 days. We also have the potential for a G1 geomagnetic storm starting on the 20th. This is due to a plasma filament eruption that occurred on the 18th. But what we have parsed up is a plasma filament eruption. Yeah, from today. So let's take a look at that. And if you can see the halo effect from this explosion, do you see how it pushes out all around 360 degrees? Now, albeit it's a little weak up in the north, but a halo eruption nonetheless. And a halo eruption means that there is a portion of the plasma headed directly towards Earth. And that means that a geomagnetic storm is imminent. So let's take a look at the WSA Enlil spiral and see what they have to say. We can see that that plasma filament, albeit as small, might be a direct clipping here of the Earth on the 20th or the 21st. So we'll keep a close eye on this, all based on the speed and intensity. We may get into geomagnetic storm as early as the 20th. And that is where the ramp up occurs. We don't have any dates after this. So buckle up, Buttercup. We may see aurora as well as heavy snow through April. Holy macaroni. Climate change, the insane plan to save the Arctic sea ice. Yeah, it's insane indeed. Take a look at this. They're putting pumps into the ice sheet up in the Arctic, and they're pumping seawater onto the top of the ice sheet to build the thickness. Now, the only problem with that is here's a guy standing out there. The ocean is right out here. And so why isn't the ocean freezing on top of the ice sheet as waves break on top of it? Perched on a sea ice off of Canada's northern coast, parka-clad scientists watch a saltwater pump out water over the frozen ocean to save the planet. The only problem is the planet doesn't need saving. It's been doing quite well for billions of years with natural climate variability that changes the temperature up to 25 degrees C over periods of millions of years. And we're all still here. Can you believe that? Yes. And in fact, if the climate is warming, that means we have more vacation days, more planting days, more food growing in the soil, and more happy people. Did you know that cold kills 7 to 9 times more people than warm? Yeah. The mainstream media is not telling you about that. They're telling you about these cockamamie stories that are going to save the diminishing ice when the ice is higher than it was 2 decades ago. They didn't tell you that, did they? Shut up, Al! Get your hole! Al Gore doesn't like the facts because he won the Nobel Prize back in 2007. You want to know about the facts? Join us at the San Luis Valley Seed Exchange this year in just 13 days. Holy macaroni. The first day is Saturday, March 30th, where most of the main speakers will be talking. Reflections on herbal use of our ancestors, plants, and ethnobotany of the San Luis Valley, and the medicinal properties of hops, which will be our talk, Diamond and Leah, at 12:30 p.m. on Saturday. Simple cannabis medicine making happens at 3 p.m. with Miles Filippelli, and at 4 p.m. regional herbal medicine making. But that's only the first half of the weekend. There are like 60 vendors, and this is an amazing experience. If you stay here at the location, They supply you with free meals all day, and it's all like amazing, organic. I can't even go into it. It's delicious. So there's that. If you can't make it out to the San Luis Valley Seed Exchange or a seed exchange in your own community, well, you can just come over and grab some seeds from our affiliate here, Alliance of Native Seed Keepers, the cheapest open pollinated, non-GMO organic seeds on the planet. I can't recommend this company more. There are 280 varieties in stock still, even though it's the peak seed buying season. So go get it before they run out. Every single one of your purchases helps the Oppenheimer Ranch Project continue its mission. Not only that, if you put in ORP 2024, you get an additional 10% off. If you buy more than $25 worth of seeds, it's free shipping. So I implore you to buy that and maximize your purchase. Here is the talk we're going to be doing at the San Luis Valley Seed Exchange over on, I believe they have this on Instagram. Wild Foods and Medicines of the Valley is the theme, and Leah and I will be talking about the medicinal properties of hops. Did you know that the hop plant Humulus lupus is part of the Cannabinaceae hemp family, making it a cousin to cannabis? It possesses similar terpenes responsible for its all too familiar skunky aroma. Yet, most varieties of hops have low to no trace amounts of THC or CBD. And the importance of this plant is the terpenes itself to flavor beer. Well, you knew that, but there are so many other medicinal properties of this plant, you can't leave it to the side. Everyone in their house should have this plant for sleep medicine, for calming, well, and for general healthfulness. The plant is high in various oils and waxes, including flavor-imparting olescerin, carophyllene, humulones, and lupulones. Studies show that hops help with dozens of problems with the human species, and the most important thing is it works with your immune system in homeostasis to bring everything into harmony. Now, the problem is that hops don't grow wild in most of the places on Earth. Typically between 45 degrees to 52 degrees north latitude, and many people live near them, but they just don't know how to harvest them. The problem is that the information out there on the internet is incorrect. Hops grows all the way down to 40 degrees or even further south into the desert, especially the desert Southwest. We have wild hops on our property at 41 degrees north, and there are hops all over the San Luis Valley at 40 and 39 degrees. So hops doesn't need to be at 50 degrees north to proliferate, nor to be native. And the people that claim that there are no hops in Colorado, which are all the experts, are idiots. There are millions of tons of native hops that grow as far south as the New Mexico border. Hops help with reducing anxiety, inducing slumber, reducing inflammation, lowering cholesterol, removing dandruff, boosting hair growth and shine, and nourishing the skin. I can't even begin. And that's a boom to knowledge. Please share this video as we are shadow banned and we need your help to grow. Become a Patreon, support the work we do. We love you. Be safe, and we'll see you all at the San Luis Valley Seed Exchange Saturday, March 30th.